Hi lovely family, welcome to Cooking with Ava. Today we're going to be doing corned beef jollof. Yes, this is a perfect corned beef jollof you want to really strive for this year. The only way you're doing any food which is, you got some occasion, you want to spread the people, want to show them that this is pure Guinean stuff. This is the corned beef jollof to run to. This is a jollof recipe to run to. And yes, you can enjoy corned beef jollof with some corned beef balls as well. And they are all on the channel. So let's dig in and let's see how to make your corned beef jollof. So you need some spice, a local spice or your jollof spice or your stew spice, any spice you're good with, and some salt. You're going to need ginger, pepper, garlic, onion, and of course these are going to be the main vegetables I'm going to use. You can add in extra vegetables if you want, like bell pepper, spring onions. You can add them in. So for this time, what I do is just to blend everything up into one blend. Yes, blend everything up till it's smooth or fairly smooth. I pour in oil into my pan, and I'm going to just pour the blended onion based vegetables into my pan. I'm creating my gravy or my stew base for the jollof from start, and so I'm just going to let this simmer down. Yes, usually you want to start with the onion because onion can have a bit of water spilling over everywhere, and that kind of vibe. So I begin with the onion and then I let it reduce, and then I also had some tomato how do you call it, tomato chunks, or yes, tomato chunks in there. So I poured it in, the fresh tomato chunks in there as well. And on the channel I showed you how to make tomato concentrate. Yes, so I added a tomato concentrate in there instead of the tomato how do you call it, tin tomato like we call it here, or the tomato mix, which is store-bought. Yes, so this time round I tried to make my own stuff to reduce some of the chemicals in there. These days the processed stuff is also giving us our own problems here as well. So try that tomato concentrate recipe as well. So yes, once all of that goes in, I'm just going to be stirring and ensuring that it reduces very well and is well cooked very well. So I did this into a gravy, and I saved it up. So I kept some to be used at home, and then the other part was going to be for the jollof. So to start off with the jollof, yes, I like to use a bit of fat in there. So I used butter. You can use margarine, you can use oil. So I added in eggs. Yes, eggs is going to help bind it and look good as well. So I place in the egg, and then I place in a tin of corned beef in there, and then I'm kind of mixing it because I don't want it to get burnt as well. That's the main idea. And the egg is going to help the corned beef form into smaller balls. These days corned beef no chale we I won't say apeti baby. We don't want it to flake all over. We want it to form little chunks in there. So the egg is going to help it. And I'm not going to cook it to fully perfect on fire, no, because I don't want it to also dry out. When it goes into the jollof, I want it to the heat in the jollof to make it clumpsy. Yes, so you don't need to finish it perfectly on the fire. Then I pour in the gravy base, which I just did, a bit of it. The rest you can store it in your fridge for extra jollofs in there. Then I add in the rice, and I'm going to toast it up. Now, if you want very grainy jollof, this is the way to go. And if you are doing large stock jollof or party jollof, this is another way to go, because this actually helps your rice pick the color from the word go, or pick the sauce from the word go. This also helps your rice toast a bit, which gives you very much grainy jollof. Yes, so when you're doing large jollof or you want very grainy jollof, this is the way to go. So I added in some garden peas as well, fresh garden peas, or let me say like that, because this is not frozen, but then it's not fresh, it's processed garden peas. Yes, then I added in my water. This is once the rice was well toasted, and you could see that mostly in white kakrebi, it turns a bit white a bit when it's getting well done. Then I added in my salt, and I remembered I had some spring onions, the green part in the freezer. I was like, oh, let me just drop it in. At least it's going to give me that color in there as well. So once that goes in, I just let it simmer, and then as it's cooking up, I'm going to stir, because jollof, if you don't take care to, you can stick to your pan. So this is my first stir in there as well. I'm just mixing everything up to make sure that every part of it is well done. So when it gets to this point where the water is going down, you want to reduce your heat to the barest minimum. You want to get a clean napkin and then cover it up. Yes, and you let it simmer, sit down for like 20-30 minutes, depending on the size you are doing. So this one, like this, I had to just cover it at very low heat for 20 minutes. Then I came in to do the mixing. Around this point, some is done, but it's not really well done in there. That is where you want to put it in. Then I did a hole in the middle, or I did, yes, a space in the middle. Then I just mixed it up. When you're mixing, don't mix it like you're mixing cocoa. Yes, mix it strategically so that the how do you call it? The corned beef mix you place in doesn't flake, and then it goes to every part of it. So that when you serve, especially when you have kids at home and stuff, when you serve, everybody can get a bit of it. Yes, you don't want it to go to one side. You serve and some will get, some won't get. Then you cover it and let it continue simmering for extra 10 minutes. Then you can just mix it up. Yes, so once you trap the heat in with a napkin, the cooking goes well. And you know, jollof there is not about high heat. Jollof, you can start with high heat in the initial stuff when you are toasting it up, and then when you are letting it come to boil, you need to go to the medium high. Then once you want to finish it off and let the rice really cook, you need to get it at a low heat. Yes, so once this is done and I stir up, then I know that I'm good to go. And this is my corned beef jollof. Do you see how the corned beef is well decorated and well represented at every part of the jollof? So there's no way you're going to scoop this jollof out and not get some of the corned beef. That is the reality in there as well. So I serve this out, and yes, my son, if he likes eggs, so usually I add a bit of egg to the serving. And yes, there's already corned beef in, there's already rice in, there's already vegetables in. This is a perfect balanced diet in there. Yes, but you can add extra proteins if you'd want. And for me, I like to add some eggs and my corned beef ball, which you should check that recipe out as well. So till I see you in the next food video, do live life to the fullest. Be joyous, be merry. Lots of love from my team and I. Mwah.